Good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Good morning. Welcome to another edition of a Good Morning Grenada. And as usual, I want to wish everyone a great day. Wherever you're at around the world right now, those of you viewing via GBN TV, good morning to you. Those of you via social media platform, good morning to you, whether it's platforms per se, whether it's YouTube or Facebook, good morning. And those of you listening via terrestrial radio, K105 and Hot 98, let me say good morning. Let me go over to my bro on the other side this morning, and he's via, of course, Hot 98. Let me say good morning to Gary. Gary, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, GT. What's going on?
I'm all right. What's up with you in your neck of the woods this morning, man?
Hey, man, everything is good.
All right.
Getting a delay, don't know where that is coming from.
All right. Not sure, but hope that is...
Let's try it again.
I hope that is sorted out. Better. All right. I always had to touch that button, bro. Anyway. All right. So we're live. We're live here on...
We are live, 100% live, and ready to go.
And
it's another day.
All right. So we got lots lined up for the folks this morning, the listeners, the viewers, lots lined up. And we're going to take care of that after we take this short break. Are we coming back? And we're going to get into Good Morning Grenada from the word of the day, the thought of the day, riddle, health tip, and more. Stick and stay with us, folks. We're coming right back. Don't touch your dial.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Get ready for a season of Grooving Smooth and Live on GBN. Grooving Smooth and Live is a 1-hour performance gig every Thursday from 8 p.m. featuring performances from our local musicians and short interviews discussing all things musical. Every Thursday, a different musician and a different instrument will be featured, from the violin to the saxophone to the trumpet, guitar, and steel pan. Our local musicians playing, improvising, and educating us on all genres of music. Join GBN with host musicians Matthias and Shireen and a special guest every Thursday at 8 p.m. It's Grooving Smooth and Live on GBN.
Physical violence, threats, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
Level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
would say it's a go once again. Let's get set to rock back into Good Morning Grenada here on K105 Hot 98. Myself and Gary, it's G Squared in the morning time. Hey, don't forget the number you can always chime in via. It's 435-2041. That's 435-2041. Hey, Gary, welcome back inside at Good Morning Grenada. And we got an interesting lineup this morning, as I mentioned in our intro this morning. Interesting lineup this morning. We got an interview coming up. We, of course, have that quiz bit coming up this morning. Also, folks could stick around for that.
We'll be doing some giveaways.
Yeah, we have some giveaways also.
We're going to make some people happy.
Yeah. As usual.
Yeah, man.
Always a good stuff. So let's roll into our word of the day. And you can take care of that. I roll in with the thought of the day. Go right ahead.
Your word of the day is prosaic. Prosaic, it's an adjective, and it is spelled Prosaic. Prosaic is a synonym of dull, unimaginative, everyday, or ordinary, but its original meaning is characteristic of prose or distinguished by poetry. Retirement can lead to a prosaic lifestyle unless you will yourself to seek adventure. The poem is filled with prosaic lines. However, there is much to contemplate in between. All right, most of those phenomenon turn out to have prosaic explanations, such as wealthier balloons, space debris, and atmospheric effects in the sky. A little few examples of the word prosaic. In the past, any text that was not prosaic any text that was not poetic was prosaic. Back then, prosaic carried no negative connotations. It simply indicated that a written work was made up of prose. That sense clearly owes much to the meaning of the words Latin source prosa, meaning prose. Poetry is viewed, however, as the more beautiful, imaginative, and emotional type of writing, and prose was relegated to the status of mundane and plain Dane. Or plain Jane.
All right.
As a thing considered matter of fact or ordinary, and they gradually transferred it into a synonym for colorless, drab, lifeless, and lackluster. Your word of the day.
What's your word of the day? A great word of the day this morning, and all the meanings and the way you can be used. As usual. It's Good Morning Grenada. Let's get into our thought of the day for this morning. As always, we hit you that thought of the day that will guide you through for the day. And you could also make it be part of your everyday life. You probably will just want to hold on to a particular thought that we throw out one of these mornings. The thought of the day for today. He who does not criticize himself dies from criticism from others. Let me repeat that thought of the day for you. He who does not criticize himself dies from criticism of others. A bit of an African proverb there for you. Hey, Gary, you want to expand on that of course, thought of the day this morning, and probably put it into more perspective that folks may digest it a little bit more, the thought of the day. Let me let you roll with that a wee bit this morning, kind of summarize it a wee bit this morning, the thought of the day. Go right ahead.
Don't mind if I do. Hey, GT, remember growing up as characteristics of childhood period? We used to tease ourselves a lot, and we used to make fun of other people. In fact, we competed in making fun of ourselves. All right,
it's true.
It used to.
They used to say, Gary, you have a big head or something of the sort. You understand?
Yeah, exactly. Your teeth space off. You understand? You have a space in your teeth. Those sort of funs jokes we poke at each other. And I used to cry over those things people said about me. Until one day I discovered a secret. Yeah. All right. I'm sure you could recall being teased and crying and feeling bad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, as kids growing up.
I know that.
Now, before anyone said anything bad about me, this is what I put into practice. I first of all said all the things I knew people could make fun of me of. So this really disarmed my playmates. They could not say those things about me anymore. And even if they did, it was no news.
Yeah.
As for them, my teasing really got into them because they didn't tell themselves to accept the fact about themselves, and the fact that they were not getting a reaction from me even made matters worse.
Yeah.
All right. Now this practice has lingered on to my childhood life or adult life to make fun of myself. So there is hardly anything you can say about me to make me feel sad, to make me feel bad. I make conscious effort to criticize myself. So it's hard for anyone else, or it's hard for me to be offended by the same criticism from others. The reality of life is that we all make mistakes in life, whether deliberately or indeliberately, big or small, reversible or irreversible. Being able to laugh at ourselves means you accept and celebrate your humanity. It's a mark of humility. The mistakes we make are not as critical as our attitude towards those mistakes. Take yourself seriously, but not too seriously. Have a sense of indulgence.
Yeah.
Be indulgent.
Yeah. It's like saying, what you're telling me, I know that already. Simply, you understand? In a much simpler way of summarizing that thought there for today.
Yeah.
Whatever someone may say about you or is saying about or saying to you, you can say, hey, I know that already, you know, buddy. So you already criticized yourself,
whatever.
so it doesn't have that great impact anymore.
And we are conditioned from childhood to adulthood, because from childhood we are so used to feeling bad and reacting in a negative way to those funds and those jokes that were levied at us.
Yeah,
But,
and
then we go into adult life and we carry that same emotion.
So true. Because we see youngsters today still having that little thing. You know, kids may criticize you and they come home and cry for you because they were told out of school.
Kids brutal, you know?
Yeah, man.
Kids are brutal, man.
Yeah.
When you think about some of the things that you said to other kids and kids said to you as growing up, kids are brutal, man.
Very brutal. And you see the same happening today with your kids when they come home and tell you they were told that in school by a friend. Well, you could call it friends for just now, but you say, hey, man, you know, I probably should do that back then also, you know. You understand?
That's why it's good to set the foundation right now. Make sure that, of course, you teach them not to take these things to heart and to develop a positive attitude about kids taunting and teasing in school. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, let's get into a health tip this morning, Gary. And you know, health will come to you compliments Mitchell's Health and Wellness Pharmacy, where your pharmacy's health is our business. Let's talk about it. 6 tips towards, sleep. Sleep to 6. Should I say 6 steps so better sleep, man? You know,
ways in which you can increase and better your sleep. Mm-hmm. You understand? You are not doomed to toss and turn every night. You know?
Yeah.
Consider simple steps for better sleep, from setting a sleep schedule to including physical activity in your daily routine. All right? So let's get straight into it. Stick to a sleep schedule. All right, set aside more time to sleep during the night and avoid sleeping during the day. That is really important. Avoid sleeping during the day. Pay attention to what you eat. All right, don't go to bed hungry or stuffed. All right, create a restful environment. Create a room that's ideal for sleeping. Often it means cool, dark, and quiet. Limit daytime naps. I mentioned that earlier on. Long daytime naps can interfere with your nighttime sleep. All right. And 6, manage worries. Try to resolve your worries or concerns before bedtime. Jot down what's on your mind and set aside them for tomorrow, the next day.
All right.
And that's been your health tip right here on Heart.
In Christian health tips there, you know, some of them it may be a little bit tough to put into, of course, and put into everyday use. But if you try the main start of it, disciplining yourself and start it certainly could help and go a whole long way. And we're moving up, folks. The time is exactly, make that 16 minutes moving up before the top of the hour. Don't forget the news comes around for you shortly. Let's get into our Did You Know segment this morning. Did you know that 40% of human jobs will be replaced by one in the future? Did you know that, Gary? You know, the robots are going to take over, Gary. They're certainly going to take over. In about 20 years. the future could look, should I say, eerily similar to EWAL. Should I say EWAL? Artificial intelligence expert Kai-Fu Lee said that 40% of human jobs will be replaced by equally capable robots, and drivers be affected the most. Think about that, Gary. You know, thinking that you'll be sitting in the back of your car one of these days and the car taking you where you want to go. I mean, the technology is already out there. You understand? Not 100% perfected as yet, but the technologies are there. So get ready, folks. It's what the future is going to look like. You know. So
get ready. We're going to be losing jobs and find innovative and new ways.
Oh man! So we got time. We still have time, Gary, to popping the riddle this morning. You know, the riddle come to you compliments of friends at Sleepy Dappers. All natural, all organic for your baby's total comfort and protection. Sleepy Dappers, always for better. Hey, Gary, go with that riddle this morning. You know, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to decipher it myself, and I ain't sure I'm.
Let's see how we can get our viewers and listeners to make sense of this riddle there. I have many teeth, but I cannot bite. I often used early, but rarely at night.
What am I? That's your riddle. On the other, when we come back, a little after the news this morning, a little after 7 a.m., we will entertain the answers for the riddle. Also, after we come back, also don't forget, we have your quiz segment this morning. You know, it's all about the 43rd anniversary of March 13th. And I have some interesting questions this morning. I'll throw that out. I was previewing it a while ago. And let me see if we get another winner this morning when we come back. And we're moving up to exactly 14 minutes moving up before the top of the hour this morning here on the K105 and Hot 98. It's Good Morning Grenada. It's time for the AM edition of news here on Hot 98 and K105. Also rebroadcast of last evening's news on GBN TV. The news is next.
Happy to have you. This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. Top story. Former workers at the Subiz Fishermen Cooperative Society Limited in St. Andrew are calling for justice and have made a request for a formal investigation to be done into their termination. They say claims of them being responsible for over $30,000 missing from the society are untrue. Tonight's top story comes from Rena Pierre-Thomas.
Yolanda Francois said she and the two other colleagues were terminated from their jobs at the Fishermen Cooperative Society Limited in St. Andrew after being accused of being the masterminds behind the disappearance of over $38,000 missing from their former employers. The former sales clerk says she is innocent and can prove so, as she, along with the two other people pinned in the scandal, consistently presented balanced financial records and daily earnings to the manager at the end of each work day. She says they are not responsible for what happened to the money after it was handed over to the management, and therefore they should not be held accountable.
Once we do our daily sales, our bookworks and everything are corresponding with our money, and give it to the manager, everything does be perfect. We is not the one who do deposit. We don't write checks. We don't order goods and stuff like that. Well, for the last year and some, audit work was done by a new audit, and by doing that, the auditor picked up some things and bring it to the 7-man committee, which is the board, the Subiz Fishermen Cooperative Board.
According to Francois, only the 3 sales clerks were fired in relation to the missing money. She says the trio feels like they were made the scapegoats, as no meetings were held with them, which would have given them the opportunity to defend themselves. Now she says they are being bullied into paying back the money to the cooperative, something they will not agree to.
The $38,000, right? Out of that $38,000, we, the workers, me and my other 2 colleagues, 3 of us have to pay $7,000 each. I don't have a house. If I get $7,000, I will build a house or buy a car. I don't have that. The only letters we receive is the one from December 30th, 2021, stating that if if we agree or disagree to pay back the $7,000. The next letter we received was from a lawyer dated the 16th of February 2022. The last letter I received was yesterday evening when I was leaving work, stating that I am no longer an employee of Subi's Fishermen Cooperative.
When contacted by GBN on Wednesday, the manager at the society referred the news team to the board of directors and provided a number for the secretary. When called, the secretary in an impolite tone indicated that she would not comment on the matter and that if the news team needs to speak to the president or vice president, we should obtain the phone numbers from the former workers. Francois, who believes that their daily records can clear their names, is calling for a proper investigation by the Subi's Fishermen Cooperative Society Limited, which involves police and external bodies, so that the real culprit can be found.
Looking for a proper investigation so our name could be cleared, so the organization please do a proper investigation so the culprit could be caught.
For GBN News, I am Rina Pet Thomas reporting.
In other news, the long-awaited cleanup of derelict vehicles along the nation's roadways is inching closer to realization with the launch of the Derelict Vehicle Cleanup Campaign on Wednesday. It is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Infrastructure Development, the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, the Royal Grenada Police Force, and a private foreign partner whose name was not disclosed. Chrislina John has more.
Waste should no longer be seen as just an end-of-life product, but now as a resource that could be the start of other products or other uses.
That was Alan Gilbert, Integrated Resource Manager of the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, speaking during the launch of the National Derelict Vehicle Cleanup Campaign on Wednesday. This project is aimed at reducing the amount of vehicle waste, such as parts and scrap metals, going into the landfill. Gilbert explained how the cleanup process will be implemented.
Along with the police tow truck, our partner will provide some other tow trucks. We will collect derelict vehicles and we will take them all to multiple locations. Those locations we will call processing depots. We have identified some suitable locations, but and agreements are still forthcoming. And we've spread them out through the island. So we'll have short, hopefully under 10-mile journeys to these depots. At those depots, we'll have the stripping of the vehicles. They will be baled into cubes and then transported to a strategic location for placing in containers.
439-2019 is the hotline number members of the public can call to report derelict vehicles in communities, as well as to place requests for the removal of derelict vehicles. This number becomes active from March 28th. Richard McPhail, Senior Technical Officer in the Ministry of Infrastructure, says they have already sourced a flatbed truck to be used for the purpose of collection.
It's a 2021 Mitsubishi Fuso Fighter flatbed truck, and it's equipped with a crane at the back, and this crane is capable of towing as much as 2.9 tons. And this truck was procured directly from the manufacturers in Japan, brand new. So there's no possibility of it becoming derelict in the very near future.
Superintendent Randy Connaught, officer in charge of the traffic department, reiterated that derelict vehicles pose a challenge, especially to emergency vehicles, and have contributed to a number of road accidents.
Unable to service particular households because of the fact that they just cannot proceed any further. And this is very frustrating for the operations of the sanitary workers. On the law enforcement front, we see that as also a great challenge, because most of the derelicts in certain communities are also used as places to stash illegal narcotics, stolen items. They are generally road safety hazards.
The Solid Waste Management Authority hopes to also see a decrease in habitats for rodents and other stray animals, and reduction and prevention in environmental degradation. A derelict vehicle is described as any abandoned or discarded motor vehicle or any motor vehicle left in a public place which is in a dilapidated condition that it cannot be safely used for the purpose of transportation, and also includes any part of such motor vehicle. Christelina John, GBN News.
Meanwhile, the owners of these derelict vehicles sitting by the roadside have 1 week to remove them after a notice has been served, or they may face the expense of having the state tow it away. Let's get more once again from Christelina John.
Superintendent of Police Randy Connaught indicated that they have already begun the process of tagging and recording of derelict vehicles in their system. A public advisory will be done highlighting the areas that will be visited.
Under the Waste Management Act, Section 39 of Act 16 of 2001, a notice would be placed on that derelict vehicle given 7 days, after which that vehicle will be removed by the authorized agent or the authorized officer. Failure to comply, as I indicated, having the vehicle be removed, and the cost of its removal is a debt owed to the Crown, and that is the government of Grenada.
Alan Gilbert, Integrated Resource Manager of the Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, explains who is permitted to remove abandoned or derelict vehicles according to the Act.
The Minister may designate in writing public officers and officers of government agencies such as authorized officers for the purpose of this Act. Every police officer and every environmental health officer is an authorized officer for the purpose of this Act. An authorized officer may at any time enter and inspect any waste management facility to verify compliance with this Act. 42.7 reads, an authorized officer other than a police officer in uniform must, if so requested, produce identification before conducting an inspection under this section.
Superintendent Connaught cautions that vehicle owners ought to take responsibility to avoid any inconvenience.
A police officer, a person assisting a police officer, the state is liable for any motor vehicle towed or driven under the section, or for the charge sustained for damage sustained by the vehicle during or as a result of the towing. So this in its essence gives an indication as to the removal of any liability on the part of the authorized officer, and in this case the police officer or persons assisting that officer from any liability for any damages caused during the process of towing.
Christelina John, GBN News.
Christians in Grenada joined others across the world to celebrate Ash Wednesday today, the first day of Lent. The various denominations headed to church as they begin their journey of prayer, fasting, and giving alms. A midday service was held at the St. George's Catholic Church with celebrant Bishop Clyde Harvey reminding Christians that the Lenten season is very important and they should take it seriously while continuing to do great things.
Do not grow weary of doing good. And that is one of the things that I want to put before you as you begin this Lenten journey. You will begin it, yes, and some of us will do some wonderful things in the first few weeks of Lent. But by the time the 6th week comes around, we are weary. And we're no longer doing some of the things that we did at the beginning. But that weariness is not only about Lent. That weariness is about your whole life. I have tremendous admiration for the old people whom I see, men and women, who continue to work doing good for others. Sometimes it's in the church societies, St. Vincent de Paul, Legion of Mary. But other times, very quietly, they do what they do.
Welcome back to the news. Residents of St. Andrew are eagerly awaiting the start of construction on the Grenville Financial Complex as they anticipate positives for the big parish and its occupants. We get more in this report from Rena Pierre Thomas.
Residents of St. Andrew expressed positive views on the Grenville Financial Complex project, which is spearheaded by the government of Grenada. The complex will house all government revenue offices and departments, and the small businesses will also be given an opportunity to operate within the building as the government intends to lease office space. This is intended to create revenue for the big parish. On this week's post-cabinet briefing, Minister for Infrastructure Development Nolan Cox gave an update on the project.
The Grenville Commercial Complex project have been tendered. Tenders have received. It is currently being evaluated. It's at the procurement board for final no objection. As soon as that is completed, we will update the public on that, and we can see work starting on the Grenville Commercial Complex thereafter.
GBN combed the town of Grenville to get residents' view on the upcoming complex.
It's a good thing to make changes. Right now, it's a good thing to make changes because people looking at a lot of different things right now. Good generating and for people to make money. It's a good idea. So I hope it's success.
I think it's a very good project. I think Grenville is long awaiting, and I think it will enhance the parish or the town of Grenville on a whole. Because if you look at Grenville, some of the government offices, some of them are all over the place. So I think if that come together and everybody can go one place and get everything done, it's a very good idea.
Because it is something that will bring greater development for the parish on a whole. And then as much as we didn't hear about it again and it's like it no longer existing, we thought that was the end of it. But if it is so and they have decided to really now put it into perspective, I don't know if it is an election gimmick, but if they really decide to put it into perspective, it will be great for the parish. And we will applaud it, and we will go forward with giving it praise, and we would like to see it happen.
It would be a good thing for St. Andrews too. It would be a good thing for St. Andrews. Remember, we have a lot of people in St. Andrews, and if everything you had to run in St. George's, you had to inconvenience yourself so much. You know what I mean? So that project that you're talking about there, that would be a good project.
I see it as a good project, but if it become reality, because we have seen a lot of projects started close to election, nothing complete. We're hearing about Simon, hearing about things, we see a lot of roads doing. So sometimes they just dig up a place, bring down a place, and that's it. But if it do come through, it's a good project.
For GBN News, I am Rina Pet Thomas reporting.
Grenada's recovery from the onslaught of the COVID-19 pandemic is being called a modern-day miracle by one religious leader, and he is asking the public to not take it for granted. The details in this report from Beverly Telesford.
In the midst of Grenada's first major COVID-19 outbreak, which started in late August 2021, Grenadians both locally and in the diaspora were called upon to be part of 2 days of national prayer to ask God's hand in the nation's recovery as it grappled with the devastating effects of the virus. The National Days of Prayer were held virtually on September 25th and 26th, less than 1 week after Grenada recorded its highest number of active cases to date, 2,675. The prayer days were held under the theme, A Call to Return to God. According to one religious leader, those prayers were heard, and by way of miracle, Grenada recovered from the outbreak.
And the government asked the churches to pray. The churches prayed, the churches agreed. It was not just evangelical churches, but churches on a whole that came together on that particular weekend and prayed and asked God to intervene. And I would say immediately there was something that came into our nation, the strength of God, the grace of God.
Pastor Ricardo Aline of the Lutheran Revival Center Church said Grenadians ought to be thankful for the intervention of God in their time of need.
Be very careful that after God has been so good to us that we then go and live anyhow. I also want to speak very strongly that our response to God's goodness should be that we should say thanks to God, not only verbally, but physically, spiritually, emotionally.
Pastor Aline said while he doesn't wish to discredit medical professionals, he doesn't attribute the turnaround of Grenada's COVID crisis to their intervention alone.
Am I saying that the doctors and the medical fraternity and practitioners and the frontline workers didn't have something to do with of it? Of course, they all had a part to play. But there is no way that we can say it's because of the medical practitioners and Minister of Health and Ministry of Health that caused this. Because in the islands right around us, they even have better facilities, isolation centers, and yet they're having so many different deaths taking place. What happened in Grenada? What happened? A miracle. An absolute miracle.
As of Monday, Grenada's active COVID cases stood at 138. Total confirmed cases as of Tuesday night is 13,960.
That was Beverly Telesford reporting. In other news, the new chair of CARICOM says there is a need to rekindle the founding vision for regional integration in terms of its scale of ambition and speed of consolidation. Prime Minister of Belize, John Brasinho, says there is now revitalized need to look inward for the solutions to satisfy the development and aspirations of the Caribbean people while strengthening engagement externally. Gerard Joseph has this report.
It is not because of romantic nostalgia, but to remind Caribbean leaders of their roots deeply ingrained in
So we're back inside Good Morning Grenada here on K105 via GBN TV also. Good morning to those of you viewing and listening around the world, whether it's via social media pages, whether it's the YouTube or Facebook. Good morning. Those of you via the website, gbn.gd, good morning to you. Let me say good morning to my bro over there on Hot 98. I'll say good morning to Gary. Gary, we're back here on Good Morning Grenada.
Good morning, Grenada.
Yeah, how's things over on Hot Side this morning, man? How's things over at Hot?
Blazing.
What else can I say? Yeah, well,
what else can I say?
The name speaks for itself, right? Hot 98. The name speaks for itself, man. Yeah, we got lots in store.
The hits.
Yeah, of course, we got lots in store. Of course, within this segment, Gary, let's see what's up inside this segment. We got lots coming up. Let me show this out before we roll on. We're expecting a double dose of cruise ships in today. Looking for the MSC Sea View. That particular cruise ship will be with us today being Thursday the 3rd, looking at my list before me, and should already be in port. Came in just around 7 a.m. this morning. I'm going to stick around till about 7 p.m. Also look out for the Wind Star, one of these smaller ones. I didn't give the capacity for the MSC Sea View, 5,331. Lots of individuals on that particular cruise ship there. 5,000. Yeah, I was like,
that's huge.
Imagine if everybody came off that particular cruise ship. You understand?
Well, that ain't going to happen, but we're going to have a few thousand.
St. George's, will be packed to capacity, I would say. There's a crew of about 1,400 on that in terms of the crew. And we're looking at the Wind Star. One of these smaller ones, just about 148, but we do appreciate them coming to the Spice House. So if anyone in the cruise ship is listening, good morning, and thanks for coming to the Spice House. Hey Gary, I'm seeing let's hit this one before we move on this morning. I'm seeing lots of folks chiming in already on the answer for the riddle, and let me give you some answers. Some folks had some interesting answers for the riddle this morning. We've seen Kadisha, seem to be a youngster out there in Munich, and she's saying,
hello Kadisha, and good morning.
Yeah, she's saying a toothbrush. She's correct. She's saying good morning, guys. A toothbrush. Being the way the riddle is, I don't think a toothbrush is going to fit in there nicely. I have many teeth.
I cannot bite.
I am often used early. But really at night. You gotta brush your teeth at night, Gary. You gotta brush your teeth at night, so you can't be a toothbrush.
You gotta brush your teeth.
So you can't be a toothbrush. So you're wrong there. We have a couple other folks chiming in. They're saying a comb. Lots of folks are saying a comb for some reason or the other. I'm seeing one individual just throwing an answer saying a saw. You understand? But
you said that. You said that. A lot of people are saying the comb for one reason or another, as if to say they're wrong. But no, that the comb is the correct answer.
The comb is actually the correct answer. That's why I'm just trying to lead up to the correct answer. And so the individual that I've been stressing a saw, no, it's not a saw. It's not a saw. You understand? It's not a saw. So all who said comb, you are suddenly correct. That's the answer to the riddle.
But good tries, man.
Good try. I like the toothbrush part. I had about 5% chiming in saying the toothbrush. I don't know why they came up with that. You can't say you don't use your toothbrush at night.
Great that you guys, not resort to Googling and that sort of stuff to get the answer.
I've been taken aback when people say, with the riddle, you can't say you're not using your toothbrush at night, Gary. You can't say that.
Yeah,
they're not encourage that at all. Yeah. You got to protect. You got to, of course, maintain your hygiene and brush your teeth at night, man. You got to do that. Anyway,
we're still on the Carriacou tip,
Yeah.
So we're going to go on over to check out the final day of Carriacou Carnival. And it had to do with the Shakespeare Mass. Now, we were given an in-depth explanation yesterday as to exactly what is Shakespeare as far as Carriacou Carnival and tradition is concerned. But let's take in some of the sights and sounds of Carriacou. And this time around, it's all about the Shakespeare Mass. Yeah, man. See what's going on there?
Let's go over and take a listen.
There's no audio attached to that. It's just giving you a nice little snippet of image of the Shakespeare Mass.
And you did yesterday, that particular aspect that is showing there right now, the Shakespeare Mass, you did give a little bit a summary from someone. I'm assuming they were a resident of Carriacou.
Yeah, I thought they were actually like skilled stick fighters, but as it turns out, they are just merely reciting Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And whoever gets it wrong, the Gaelics,
you get some lash. Yeah,
lash a stick. I thought it was just stick fence, wood fence.
Interesting that particular mass aspect. I like that. I like that. I wish I could one of these days get to actually see it in person how it's been performed. Understand? Yeah. In person, see how it's performed in the person.
I mean, you got to learn some Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And I envy them because I don't know one Shakespeare, not one.
Oh man. Maybe moving on. Gary, you think we should show that quiz competition? Let's show that out and see if we could get, of course, a winner this morning because we have so much.
I had it done for later on in the day,
long this morning. Well, we could move on with other things if you wish to. We could move on with other things, and
so that's Shakespeare Mass inside of Carriacou, and Grenada's turn for Carnival has been made official. You would have heard during the press conference. So we'll turn back over to Master Control. Grenada's turn for Carnival. We envious and we jealous right now. We want piece of the action too. You understand?
Yeah, Spice
we want piece of the action. So let's go over to Master Control.
Culture Minister Yulan bin Harsford. Well, I am proud and I'm happy to announce that Spice Mass 2022 is on August 8th and 9th, 2022.
GBN took to the streets of Guav St. John to find out from the people who live in the place known as the town that never sleeps.
Well, it's a very good thing for all who want to enjoy themselves. And I think this have safe participation in everyone shall bring a good carnival and nice carnival for us. All the time I participate in carnival because I'm a born Grenadian. Well, I'm looking forward to play a clean and fair mass and a safe mass to prevent yourself from any harm and danger.
A couple of years now we're waiting for it, but because of the pandemic, we all have to understand what's happening. So we just have to follow the protocol. So if you say carnival this year, it's a plus, because we realize all the people have fall straight in, so that could ease up some of the stress.
I feel happy in a way. I'm not really a mass player, but for people who love the culture, I feel happy as for a long time going, they don't get a little, going also. Foreigners go come, things go sell.
Yeah, I feel good, man. Yeah, to have a carnival again. Yeah, I feel really good to have a carnival again.
Gary, and that was, of course, some highlights of folks. It was a Guav, right? And they're talking to folks there and saying that they're happy
to see
the
town that never sleeps.
Yeah, happy that Spice Mass will return in 2022. Yeah.
But what a sad moment last night, boy.
Yeah.
You heard the news of what took place in St. Patrick's?
Yeah. Late last night, I got a call, and, sad to say this, actually, the individual, I actually met him just around August of last year. That's
the individual who died?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
He mentioned for the first time.
Well, I'm trying to make sense of what happened because from what was reported is that there was a fight earlier. I think he might have gotten stabbed.
Yes, that's what I heard.
And I'm not too sure if he got discombobulated as he was driving home and ran into the gas tank. I'm not too sure how to piece it all together. I'm not too sure if the fight took place place at the home or if it took place away from the home. I'm not too sure.
Not much. I don't have much details.
Yeah, but I guess information is going to come to hand.
Most likely. I just got a call last night and I said, man, you remember we met this
Master
individual?
Control, please run the image in the back.
And sad that happened. Lost his mom there also, man. So sad that had happened. Let me see if we get that put there.
And she's 90 years old. You know?
Sad that happened.
Tory building.
It is.
So he ran into, with his vehicle, 100-pound cylinders.
Yeah.
And that caused
that exploded and led to the fire. So condolences to the family. As I was saying in the intro, Gary, I actually met him for the first time sometime last year. Had a little bit of chit chat. Had some family members who came, from the US, and I had to take them to that particular house. You understand? And
so you've actually seen the house?
I actually know where the house is, and actually,
so it's a huge house.
Yeah, yes, and that's why I met him for the first time. So condolences to the family, and just a sad situation happening there. You understand?
All right.
It's just a sad situation.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Well, we're moving along.
We're moving along.
Condolences. Well, tell you what. Yesterday we gave you a little taste of Marshall inside of India. Well, he continues to make headlines and, of course, go viral online with his trip to India. He's been there for some weeks, actually, on this spiritual journey. And some people are wondering what it's all about. Well, Monday has been the pretty much the carnival, kind of like the culmination of the carnival in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, Marshall Montano was pretty much on a different path. He was performing in India. All right, let's check out that performance, and then I'll give you a little insight into what the event was all about.
Sure.
Those crazy moves that take my blues away, even when you're standing still. I wanna dance with you like every night and day. Do anything for you, I will. No more lonely nights up inside the house. Come with me into the street. Hey, this is our time to give it all we got. Can I hear? Mahashivratri, I just wanna dance with you. Party over here now, 'cause I get this feeling that's so true. Whenever I'm dancing, everybody know, come on, let's dance. Listen, come on, Sadhguru. When I say dance with you, say dance with you, Sadhguru, dance. 1, 2, I just wanna dance with you. Sadhguru, let me dance with you. Hey, Sadhguru, go Sadhguru, go Sadhguru. I love you.
I'll be looking and I'll be looking like them dancing.
And I'm seeing sure though that Sadhguru guy there who's always giving those inspirational speech for us.
Yes, Sadhguru is a big celebrity. He's considered to be one of the most inspirational figures in all of India, Sadhguru, and who is described as yogi, mystic, and one of the most influential visionaries in India. And he has followers all over the world, in the millions. So he is huge. But Sadhguru, he's very inspirational.
Even Marshall Montano, they said the audience before him, there was almost 1 million people there. You understand? So
almost 1 million? Listen, man, Mahashivratri is one of the biggest and most sacred festivals for Hindus.
Yeah.
And this year, and the gathering at the Isha Yoga Center is said to have attracted more than 120 million people in person and
120.
120
and you're not overstating that, right?
No, it is Marshall's biggest show of his entire career.
But Gary, just thinking of 120 million people before you, think about that. That's huge. That's huge. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
I didn't want to. I heard about the amount, but I didn't just want to exaggerate it. Next thing, I'm wrong about it. But 120 million.
You're wondering why he didn't partake in Trinidad's carnival?
Well, come on.
He was on a journey bigger than Trinidad's carnival in and of itself.
Exactly. Wow. Hey, Gary, we do for a short break. When we come back, we have an interview lined up. Of course, we have the interview sitting in the background just waiting. And when we come back, we entertain the person that we interviewed this morning, and we come back with much more here on Good Morning Grenada.
Welcome to Money Matters, made possible by Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome to Money Matters, financial information for sound living. Wherever you are in life, these tips may help you get on solid financial ground and help you stay there. Credit cards can be a two-edged sword. By using discipline, you can benefit from some of the advantages. However, using credit cards irresponsibly can lead to financial disaster. Consider the following hints on using credit cards. 1. Like loans, using credit cards can help you build a positive credit history. Other advantages to having a credit card including security in emergencies, convenience, reduced need to carry cash or checks, cashback, and enhanced personal responsibility and independence. Remember that only one card is necessary to benefit from the advantage of card ownership. 2. Do not carry balances from month to month. Some cards charge 20% or more in interest or finance charge. 3. Frequently, there is a large finance charge for cash advances, and interest begins accruing as soon as you take the money out. 4. Watch out for annual fees. Often you are charged $100 or more just to have the card. 5. Think about your purchases. If you are not able to afford the purchase now, chances are you won't be able to afford it in a month when the credit card bill comes. 6. If you get behind, cut your recreational expenses. Call your credit card company. Credit card companies are sometimes willing to work out a repayment schedule with you. Create a budget and stick with it. Everyone makes mistakes. You don't procrastinate correcting them. Bad credit will haunt you and hurt your chances for mortgages or other borrowing opportunities later on. 7. Don't give away hard-earned money. By making payments on time, you can save hundreds of dollars a year. When you incur late fees and other penalties, you're simply giving away hard-earned money. Don't wait until the last minute to pay bills. It costs too much if you overstep the deadline. Instead, get into the habit of paying your mortgage, loan payments, and credit cards a few days before they are due.
Money Matters was made possible by Quartz Grenada Limited, bringing value home.
So we're back inside. It's Good Morning Grenada here on via GBN TV, our social media platform, also on K105 and Hot 98. Hey Gary, you're back with me. Good morning, brother. How you doing?
We are definitely back, and in living color. We are about to touch base with a special guest with us here this morning.
Certainly, I'm looking at the guest. Seems to be out on the chair for a little bit. So as soon as the guest pops in, we will certainly.
Yeah, man. So that gives me time to just go into a little history.
Yeah, go right ahead.
We are talking with, of course, Denise Lewis, PhD, down there at the St. George's University. She is a clinical psychologist, licensed counseling psychologist in the Psychological Service Center at the university. That's the St. George's University. And the topic of discussion today is University Mental Health Day. University Mental Health Day is celebrated throughout most parts of the world, on campuses, universities throughout the world. All right, so they are pausing and acknowledging Mental Health All right? It is termed and it is coined University Mental Health Day and celebrated on the 3rd of March. It's celebrated on the 3rd of March. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to ask a few questions and chit-chat with her once she becomes available. Now, Dr. Denise Lewis, like I mentioned earlier on, is a clinical psychologist at the Psychological Services Center and associate professor at St. George's University. She has over 30 years of experience in various counseling services to diverse populations, including families, couples, professionals, young adults, launching new paths. And Dr. Lewis also pursued a bachelor's degree in theology and guidance and counseling at the Jamaica Theological Seminary.
Right.
Her trajectory into psychology and mental health began as the first guidance counselor appointed by the Ministry of Education in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So if she's ready for us, we can dive straight in and get started.
I'm still awaiting, of course, her to pop in. She's, of course, I'm seeing she's already set up, but not in person yet.
Well, in addition to being certified as a level 3 Gottman couples therapist, she's also a certified grief educator. She's got many handles, man. I'm reading all of this and looking into it, and I'm mind boggled. Yeah. I'm like, how could you study for all these things? But she's definitely have done that. So she grief educator, and she has initiated and led the bereavement group's suicide prevention training and participated in the university-wide panels on suicide prevention and burnout prevention among mental professionals.
All right. Still awaiting her to pop in, Gary. She hasn't popped in as yet, and as soon as she does so, we will certainly entertain her. We move on here. It's good morning.
Someone is telling me that she needs to be admitted in. She's not admitted in as yet.
I have admitted her in already, but for some reason or the other, she's not in person. I can see her background and everything there, but she's not in person. So as soon as she pops in, let her know. Let's move on here. It's Good Morning Grenada here on Give 105 and Hot 98 via GBN TV or social media platforms G Squared, GT, and Gary. Don't forget the numbers you could pop, of course, get in contact with us via, whether you want to do a WhatsApp or a phone call. The number is 435-2041. That's 435-2041. Gary, while we await her, let's move on with the other segments of the program until she pops in, and then we certainly will entertain.
What we can do, what is up next would be the giveaways.
Yes, we could probably do that in the interim until she pops in. All right, so for those of you over there, don't forget, we started this on Monday, and it's all part of... let me get my info ready there for you pertaining to this. And it's the Memorial Foundation, that's Grenfell, in conjunction with March 13th coming. They present you the March 13th quiz, all part of activities marking the 43rd anniversary of March 13. And this will run up until the 11th. So up until we started on the 1st, it's going to run up until the 11th of March, where you folks will be asking these questions via the quiz, and you will receive a March 13th souvenir in terms of a jersey. All right, so we had 2 winners already. Let's see if we get another winner this morning. And let me get that question that I wanted to ask this morning. This morning's question, an interesting one. I'm just choosing them randomly this morning. Now, here's the question. And don't forget, folks, you can chime in via phone calls 435-2041. That's 435-2041. And we only take in phone calls at air for this one. You have to call in. All right, 435-2041. And here is the question for this morning. And I'll also give you free answers that you can chime in via also. In only the first year of Grenada's revolution, let me start this over again. In only the first year of Grenada's revolution, Grenada had its second secondary school built out of public funds. All right? This was after. Let me repeat that once again. In only the first year of Grenada's revolution, Grenada had its second secondary school built out of public funds. This was after A, 100 years of British colonialism, 200 years of British colonialism, 350 years of British colonialism. So give me the correct answer out of the three that I have just mentioned. The question once again, in only the first year of Grenada's revolution, Grenada had its second secondary school built out of public funds. This was after answer A, 100 years of British colonialism, 200 years of British colonialism, 350 years of British colonialism. Now, if you think you know the answer to this particular riddle quiz that we're throwing out this morning, and you can give me that call, that's 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number you call. And you could win yourself that souvenir in terms of a jersey. All part of the 43 years, anniversary, or the 43rd anniversary of March 13th. The number you call, this one seemed to be a little bit of a toughie this morning. If you think you know the answer, give me that call. 435-2041, that's 435-2041. And for those of you still contemplating on the answer, yes, let me repeat the question now.
Yeah, repeat it again, because that might have missed a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know.
In only the first year of Grenada's revolution, Grenada had its second secondary school built out of public funds. This was after 100 years of British colonialism, 200 years of British colonialism, 350 years of British colonialism. All right, so
right. So the question is, and it's a multiple choice question, so you need to choose between the three.
Mm-hmm.
Is it either was the secondary school built after 100 years?
Grenada's
second secondary school. Was it after 100 years of British colonialism, or was it 150?
No, 300.
And what's the other one?
Well, the first answer is of the three answers that I have: 100 years of British colonialism, 200 years of British colonialism, or 350 years of British colonialism.
So choose between the three, and you can win.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm seeing a caller popping in there this morning. Let me see which of this caller have the correct answer. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. 350 years after colonialism.
350 years of British colonialism. You are correct, sir. You are correct. All right. Would you want to give me a first name or if
how long the monarch, the queen, and them rulers for about 350? Yeah.
You are correct. You are a winner this morning. Here what I would like to take some information from you, but wouldn't be able to accommodate it right now. Is it okay for you to call back just a little after 8
Or you can send a WhatsApp.
Or you can send us a WhatsApp with the answer.
Sure, no problem.
All right.
With his name.
With your name and number and so forth. All right?
All right.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a winner.
Congratulations.
That was a winner there, this Gary, and he's certainly correct. The question was that once again, in only the first year of Grenada's revolution, Grenada had its second secondary school built out of public funds. That was after, and the three answers I gave out of the quiz was, and the correct one was C, 350 years of British.
I'm floored.
Yeah. So I mean, after 350 years, we were able to get a second secondary school.
We were ruled for 350 years.
By British colonialism. And
bro, slavery was 400 roughly 400 500 years. So of that slavery period, 350 we here in Grenada was under their control.
Wow. Congratulations to the winner once again. Gary, somehow our interview has popped out, so we may have to move on this morning here on Good Morning Grenada. And so we're back. We have lots of joy on you folks. Congratulations to the winner once again. And we pop back into, we have some sights and sounds on again at the Carriacou. We also have the Celebrations Club coming up and much more. Don't forget our Tune for Tune segment, all being part of Good Morning Grenada here on GBN TV, K105 and Hot 98. It's G squared. So Gary, I think I will probably entertain in this segment the Celebrations Club, and we come back and we get into other information that we had to throw to the viewing and listening public this morning. All right, so let me get into the Celebrations Club this morning here on Good Morning Grenada. If it's your birthday today, good morning and happy birthday to you. All the best, and certainly hope you're having a lovely morning thus far. Let me say good morning to Keisha McKee. Yes, good morning to you. Happy birthday. Out there in back street in Tempe, her grandmom and other members of the family taking the time to wish her a happy birthday. Let's say good morning to Kalisha Abraham Humphrey, also known as Kelly of Adelphi. Good morning and happy birthday. Goodness going on to this morning from her mom, the Janesta. Let's say good morning and happy birthday going out to Tonella Murray of Paraclete, a student of the Grenville Secondary School. Good morning and happy birthday to you. All the best on your birthday today. Moeva John of Lower Capital. Good morning and happy birthday to you. All the best on your birthday today from members of your family. Wishing you all the best. What about Trisha Hilaire of Balthazar? Good morning, happy birthday. Special greetings going out to her from the entire Hilaire family. All the best and happy birthday. Let me say good morning to Kelvin Belfon of Chantamel St. Patrick. Kelvin, good morning, happy birthday. What about Decima Philip Alexander of Beauregard? Good morning and happy birthday to her also, from her son Troy. Let's say good morning to Daphne McSween of that's Daphne McSween Sinclair of St. Clouds. Good morning and happy birthday. What about Craig John of Hermitage St. Patrick? Craig, good morning. Let's say good morning to Ethan Phillip of Queen Street, Victoria. Good morning, happy birthday. He's actually 15 years old today. Good morning and happy birthday. Greetings going on to him this morning from his dear mom, Darlin, and his 7 children. They all wishing him a happy birthday. Let's say good morning to Beatrice Duncan of Black Basin John. Good morning. What about Rondell Charles of Apwaytude? Good morning. Happy birthday. Let's say good morning to Anil Hastic of Apwaytude. Good morning and happy birthday also. All the best on your birthday today from members of your family. Let's say good morning and happy birthday to Milton Graves of Harmony Hall. Good morning to Milton. How are you doing this morning? All the best on your birthday today from members of your family. They all wishing you a great day today. All the best. Let's say good morning also to Joy Mancini, celebrating. What about Sheldon Nichols, celebrating 17 years old today? Good morning. What about Sharon Hostin Primus, who's in the U.S.? Good morning and happy birthday. Also, Tariq Rapier of Blair's. Good morning and happy birthday. What about Joseph George, a.k.a. Brother of Rose Hill, St. Patrick? Good morning and happy birthday. What about Kindon Rogers of Pearls in St. Andrew, actually celebrating today? 8 years old. Good morning from his mom, Norma, and all the other members of the family. What about Melissa Nichols? Celebrating. Good morning, Melissa. How are you doing this morning? Happy birthday. Junior Langine of Gov. Good morning. All the best on your birthday today. What about Samara? That's Pemberton. We're getting her name right. Of Grand Nance. Good morning and happy birthday from her mom, Shirley. Terrell Joseph of Telescope. Good morning. Say good morning also to Cameron George of Telescope. Good morning and happy birthday. What about Don George of Rucane? Celebrating. Good morning. Rashawn Andrew. How are you doing this morning? Wilfred Batiste of Windsor Forest and St. David's also celebrating today. Good morning and happy birthday to you. Let's say good morning to KJ Cambridge Charles of Vendome. Good morning. Actually, he's 3 years old today. Happy birthday from his dad, Kenrick, his mom, that's Sherry Ann, and all the other members of the family, not forgetting his grandmom. Also, Kaylee McSween of Adelphi. Good morning. 10 years old today. Mommy Misty is wishing you a great day, and Daddy McCaz, and all the other members of the family. And finally on my list this morning, let me say good morning to Celine Kuka of that's Celine Kuka Havi, wherever she is, and good morning to you and happy birthday from her husband, daughter, dad Miguel. Yeah, is wishing her a happy birthday also. Hey, big up to Miguel, like Snare, my daughter married by. Good morning. Imagine that, Gary. Anyway, all the best. Hey, shout out to Snare. Hey, that's Snare, man. Miguel Snare. I'm just seeing Snare as a daughter who's married. Hey,
Is it his birthday or his daughter's?
His daughter's birthday.
I know he celebrated his birthday not too long ago.
Not too ago, but I'm seeing Snare as a daughter who's married. Hey, Snare, good morning. All the best.
Are you serious?
Anyway, good morning to you, Snare.
Oh, my good heavens.
I'm seeing from his daughter, from her father, Miguel, a.k.a. Snare, brothers and sisters. Hey, Snare, I don't know how big kids married, man. Good morning. Anyway, that's it for the birthday list this morning. Hey, Gary, our guest has popped back in this morning.
Man, let's take care of that.
I hope we could certainly entertain her this morning once again. If she's listening, and I'm seeing her microphone and stuff is on, her video has just popped in again, and if she's back, I've still not seen her on the actual sitting on the chair. She's showing the chair, but not sitting on the chair. If she's popped back in, we certainly could entertain her. So once again, If the guest ready first, we certainly will accommodate her. It's Good Morning Grenada. Once again, good morning to all of the celebrants once again. And as we move on this morning, still Gary, I guess it's not there in person. You understand? I'm not sure what's happening. And of course, let's see how we can move on. And when she actually pops in again, we will certainly try to entertain her. So, Gary, where we go from here? Where we go from here in terms of all that we have? So much to offer this morning, man. And I think we moving a bit, jumping around with all that we have to offer this morning. But
sights and sounds of Carriacou, because we know we are still, celebrating, and a lot of people are still reeling over the fun and excitement had over the carnival in Carriacou, setting the example for mainland to follow. Yeah, well, we did have these shakes. We get part of it earlier on. What are we looking at again this time around? Well, Master Control can pop this one. We're going to take a look at another sights and sounds of Carriacou. We did that one yesterday, but, it's worth seeing again for those who might have missed it, Yeah, sure. All right, let's take a peek at it once again and see what's up with inside of Carriacou. Yeah. Are we still get up? That was the Shakespeare Mass there. Another aspect of it here on Good Morning Grenada. Gary, back on the inside. Oh, and we did feature that part of it there this morning. And I'm not sure what's up with you, Gary, but I'm not hearing you. And I know it's not an issue from my side of things this morning. We're not getting an actual audio feed from you. But we're moving on here. It's Good Morning Grenada. Still awaiting our guest popping. I'm not sure what's the hiccup or what's causing it this morning, but suddenly we will be able to get that, our guest sitting in and be able to accommodate. All right, GT, I'm here. Listen, we are chit-chatting still. Yes. We managed to make contact with her, but we'll have to do an audio phone interview with her. Audio phone interview. No problem. So it's going to be taken care of on my side, or is it going to be from your side of things? Well, it's going to be on my side of things. All right, you go right ahead. All right, so once again, let's welcome our interviewee today, our special guest. She's, of course, at the University of the... Well, she's at the St. George's University, and she's Denise Lewis, PhD, in celebration of University Mental Health. So let's say good morning to you, Denise. How are you doing?
Good morning. I am fine. I'm looking forward to this conversation.
Well, great to have you. We had some hiccups this morning with the Zoom, but I know you are a very busy woman, and I understood what happened now that you explained it to me. So let's move on. Technology is on our side this morning, so if one area of technology doesn't work, we move over to the other.
Thank you. Okay, I give in-depth explanation as to your credentials this morning, Denise, and I'm mind blown really and truly, because you seem to be so multifaceted in terms of your handles and your qualification and so forth and so on. Let's talk some more about your what you do at the St. George's University, and get in depth just a bit with that. Okay, I have been around for a long time, giving my services to SGU as well as the wider Caribbean. So at SGU, I am a clinical psychologist, and at the Psychological Services Center, this is the chapter or the office that is putting on that mental health day. So at SGU, we counsel with our students, faculty and staff, and we provide psychological services and support to keep them going as they do life.
All right, and of course, mental health is important, but why is it so important to pay close attention to your mental health?
Because our health is our wealth, and our nation's people, it's important that we are healthy to be a strong nation. And so one of the challenges is the whole stigma around mental health. And so most often, we are reactive to situations. If something happens and there is a sudden interest, and it's over the media and so on. But our concern is that this is an ongoing conversation to create awareness and to help us to be proactive rather than reactive.
Yes, proactive rather than reactive. Mental health has really taken to the forefront these days with so many athletes, speaking out about mental health. But this is not just, restricted to athletes now, is it? Mental health is something that we all struggle with.
All of us.
And we all should be mindful of some of the signs that, a close relative or even a friend could have and display as a sign of mental health concern. So what are some of those signs we ought to look for?
Some of those signs, we are seeing changes in our loved ones, like a father or mom who has always been on the ball, getting things done, and all of a sudden they are sleeping too much or not sleeping, not able to conduct their regular life because there is this no energy, no mood, don't want to talk to anybody, withdrawing. Even at the workplace, we know each other, and all of a sudden this person is not the person we know them to be. They're acting differently. And so it's so important to ask the question, how are you? Are you okay? I notice, and say what you're noticing. Because sometimes we're afraid to have that conversation because we think we might be offending. But it's important to take that initial step and ask that question. That is on our part. So it could be changes in behavior. It can be the person talking about, losing motivation. They were very gung-ho about certain things in their life. All of a sudden, they're no longer interested. To ask what is going on.
Just giving up on life altogether.
See the person losing weight or, not showing up for things, and there's somebody who has been always loyal and committed to things. Back in the home now where children might be just irritable, crying a lot and we don't understand why, or angry, edgy. These are signs to say something is different and to ask the question. Wow. One of the concerns I have is for our men or young men who respond differently to mental health concerns. They're not going to show up and say, I feel depressed, help me.
It's not a macho thing to do.
No. And so we have to find ways, even in the workplace and the community, to hold those conversations. Where men hang out, the barbershop, at the water cooler, at work, or even I know some agencies do have mental health meetings with their staff so that these information can come up. On campus, we do that with our students. We send information to the School of Arts and Sciences, the medical students, the vet students, and we have these conversations,
Well, today is celebrated as University Mental Health Day, and it's celebrated on the 3rd of March each year. Name some programs and initiatives available for students, faculty, and staff at the St. George University.
Okay. Generally, at the psychological services, we offer individual counseling to our students. For students who might be depressed or anxious, or they're far from home and their family issues and concerns, and so we address that. We also take care of our students who have families in terms of young married students, or couples that are in relationships. Because our lives and what we do is supported by our relationship. So we'd have counseling for couples, as well as marital counseling, and that goes right across the board for our Grenadian community students, as well as our medical students, vet students, right across the board. We also do assessment for students who may be having challenges with certain disability issues, so we provide accommodation, as well as we would have our mindfulness conversation every midday, just to have students step away
because
from the busyness of life.
They have it tough down there at the campus, right? They got to study, they have to meet expectations, they have their parents to please, they got tuition fees, they have all sorts of anxieties coming at them left, right, and center, and mental health is definitely a concern, especially within the confines of the campus.
Yes. So life happens. We say to students, it doesn't stop to say, okay, she's now in term 1. Give her a break. Life happens, and sometimes it hits you like a curveball. And so these are conversations we have to help our students to cope.
Right.
And this is not necessarily students who particularly have a mental illness. These are normal, healthy young people. And so they need to respond to life. And so we come alongside them and provide that kind of support and encouragement and give guidance.
But are you guys planning to do any outreach programs for the wider community here in Grenada? Is that something that's in the pipeline, or is that maybe I'm telling you?
We do some as we are invited. I remember that 2 years ago we did a training with our media addressing how we respond to things like suicide in the community, how we respond to that sensitively, and manage the centralization and so on, to guide and to help. We also have done issues on suicide prevention for men, targeting men particularly, with some of the workplaces as well.
Awesome stuff. Well, that's all great, and we took the time out to give you that platform so you can, educate Grenadians and share with us some of your thoughts on mental health. And like we stated earlier on, it's celebrated today, University Mental Health Day, and it's celebrated on campuses, most campuses throughout the world. Is that correct?
Yes, universities.
Most universities throughout the world, indeed. Denise, anything in closing? And because we have to wrap this up, anything in closing?
Yes, thank you. So what we basically offering to our students today is just an opportunity to step back, come and do some yoga, relaxation. We have 2 stations for massages for the students to come in and receive a massage, listen to music. We affirm them. We have that affirmation tree. Come and just write some positive statements. Let that hit the brain and create a different shift from the stress and the anxieties and so on. So we are open from 10 o'clock this morning until 3 p.m. this afternoon. And so we're inviting our students to come along. We have a walk, we call a mindfulness walk, to stop and just focus, take care of the inner person so that you're able to really feed the nervous system so that you can be calm and respond to the challenge.
I don't know if GT, if you have any question, you can jump in, No,
I'm just listening, Gary. I'm listening and I'm absorbing the information myself, so you guys can go ahead. I'm just listening this morning.
All right, Denise, thank you so very much for being with us today. And all the best with, of course, the initiative and the work that you guys putting in, and with the rest of the students on campus as well. So, Denise, have a blessed day today. Continue doing what you're doing. All right.
Thank you. Thank you very kindly.
All right. Have a blessed one. So that was Denise Lewis, PhD, clinical psychologist, licensed counseling psychologist attached to the Psychological Services Center at the St. George's University. All right. GT, we back.
Yeah, we certainly back, Gary. And of course, interesting conversation there. It was just words sitting in the background and absorbing and hearing, of course, of the different stages individuals go through in their life that can, of course, can affect them mentally, and it's nice to know that there's help available. Because a lot of folks just don't know that there are help available. You understand? And nice to know that, of course, that aspect has been carried out there at the St. George's University. Great conversation.
The thing about mental health, the thing is all about mental health. A lot of people have become only aware of mental health. When this young tennis star said that she's taking a break from tennis to pursue to focus on her own mental health. And a lot of people thought, well, oh, maybe she's just fronted. You know what I mean? But it's something that you really cannot take for granted.
I always have the personal perception about mental health is something that, I maybe some folks may say I may be wrong to say that, but I always feel it's something that you got to heal yourself. You have to take that inner healing. You understand? You could be assisted by doctors and so forth, but I always think that it's something that you have to deal. The mind is something that you have personal control over. You understand? And you could be assisted by doctors or whatever, but if you don't have that great will to heal yourself, especially when it comes to the brain, it could be very, very hard for you. You understand?
Yeah, you can
all the assistance you may receive.
In life, we have supporting systems around us, and sometimes we need to tap in to those supporting systems. Unfortunately, in many cases, that support system is not. It's the ones, or should be the ones closest to us. But oftentimes, that support system is not there. So we have to go further out to get help.
So sometimes family cannot, of course, offer the assistance that you need. You understand? And you may think, and sometimes they may just think, in simple terms of saying it, he given trouble. You understand? And they don't really understand what you're going in and what to.
Listen, let me say this in closing. Mental health is a very serious thing. All right? I agree. If you've never thought of it as something that is serious, now it's time for you. Your child that is in school, be concerned. Look for the warning signs. All right, your husband who might be pressured and overworked, trying to make ends meet. Look out for those warning signs. It's everywhere. All right.
I certainly agree with that. So, folks, we inside here of Good Morning Grenada. And Gary, we drew for a short break. I'm not sure we may be able to entertain our Tune for Tune segment this morning because we're suddenly strapped for time. It's just about 40 minutes or so moving out before the top of the hour. I think we may have just wrapped the show up this morning. And then, get set for
we'll take
that break. So, Gary, great show this morning as always. It would have great if we could have entertained, of course, the doc via Zoom, and of course could have a picture view of her. But of course, you did it over the phone, and it was done that way. So here's we're gonna take a wrap for today, my brother.
Let's take a wrap. Let's wrap it up for today. It's been a pleasure, guys. We'll catch up again tomorrow, God's willing, same time, same station.
I'll be back with you on Monday of next week. I won't be around with you tomorrow.
For sure.
Yeah, I'll be back on Monday.
Oh, yeah, tomorrow's Friday, but
yeah, tomorrow Friday. Busy week, isn't it?
But last one is going to be in a hot seat.
Yeah, it's been a busy week, busy week. That week just flew by really, really quickly. So until you hear from us again, Gary, that will be on Monday of next week. Have yourself a great day today, man. Take it easy over there at Hot.
Yeah, man. Man. And of course, this is where we wrap it up, and this is where we turn it over.
Of course, to the folks via GBTV, they're going to take over shortly. And so, goodbye from us here, G Squared, on Good Morning Grenada. Join myself and Gary again. That will be on Monday of next week. Gary will be on tomorrow alongside with the Blossom. So until then, have yourself a great day. That's what we wrap up for Good Morning Grenada.
The next chapter in West Indies' biggest rivalry continues. West Indies flies against England for the Apex Test Series in 3 test matches. Tickets start as low as $20 and local residents enjoy an additional 50% discount with online purchase. Must be fully vaccinated to attend all matches, and COVID-19 protocols will be in effect. Secure your seats to the action. Get your tickets in advance at windiescricket.com/tickets. Terms and conditions apply.
Say hello to Grenada's hidden gem, Mandela Court, a Grenadian-owned luxury boutique hotel tucked away in Lansipine. Our fully equipped suites are now complemented by an international standard restaurant and conference room. So whether you're having a formal business event, quaint garden wedding, or just a relaxed dinner for two, you can count on Mandela Court for that luxurious experience. Call today to book your viewing or reservation. We look forward to welcoming you.
I take the vaccine and I could feel a sense of freedom. I just have to continue the right COVID protocols and I'm ready for life. You telling me you're afraid of what they're putting into you? Some of all you have metal feeling in all your mouth for over 30 years and nothing can change, or you're still ugly. You worried about a vaccine that could save your life if you catch COVID? All that food with them chemicals and hormones all you eating every day. All you know what going in all your body? And you worried about a vaccine that could protect your children and your family? All you're joking, man. The amount of vaccine we take when we were children, and look at us today, 30, 40, 50 years later. And you telling me you don't want to take a vaccine to protect your friends, your community, and your country, and get life back to normal in this pandemic? Nah, man. All you're joking. Think about it, my fellow Grenadians, Carriacouans, and Petit Martiniquans. Really think